Hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC out here at Dave on Park Field. Hobby Zone sent me out this little Ranger 1220 for review. We're going to take it up initially in the gyro mode off, which is the trimming mode. Make sure she's all trimmed out, and then I'm going to give you a beginner demonstration by putting the gyro on in what they call stability mode, and then I'll go back later and then fly it in the optimized mode, which is the same thing as their wind mitigation. But right off the bat, we're going to fly it with no gyro to make sure she's trimmed out. We got a little bit of a breeze, kind of cross breeze, but not too bad. Let's make sure.
Motor is live and will cut you.
Going to fly in my high rates, right, left, up, down. Make sure she's trimmed, and then we'll do the beginner flight demonstration. Right. This is the maiden flight. I've never flown this Ranger before. All right. Got a 2200 3S Shorty Turnigy battery in there, right? Okay, into the wind. Here we go. A little bit of down trim needed. Not too bad. A little bit more. Into the wind, she's wanting to rise a little bit, but that's okay. Alright. Needs a little bit of, that might be the wind. I don't suggest trimming a plane on a day that's really windy, because that can influence the trim and you think it's one way, it's not really. Does need a little bit of right aileron though, based upon how it is right now. But other than that, I think she's trim. Let's go ahead and get her landing. All right. Stick it, monkey pants, like Pilot Ryan would always say. All right, let's get turned around here, and we'll come back and we're going to put it in their stability mode, which is their beginner mode, which I can't turn the plane upside down or anything. And I'll do a takeoff and landing in that mode. Remember that center line's there for a reason. It's to give you, the RC pilot, and the actual pilot a point of reference on the runway. All right, we're going to switch to
stability mode.
Stability mode, which if you remember in the unbox and build is all the way down. I switched it as all the way down for, like, down was safe is how I look at it, but down was stability. I'm down with it, so that's just how I remember it. All right.
Time remaining 6
Whoa,
minutes.
a little bit of wind there. Whoa. That cross breeze. All right. All right. See, I can't, that's as far as I can bank this. I cannot turn that plane over. All right. Go ahead and fly our pattern a little bit. That's as far as I can bank them wheel. I'm having to use a little bit of rudder, a little bit of aileron to make that turn. Very stable. Even a little bit of wind we got. We got about 7 mile an hour wind. It's kind of across the runway out of the northeast. So, am having to deal with that.
Time remaining 5 minutes.
And just so you're wondering, this is modeled after a Cessna 150. All right, let's get ourselves a landing. Had to go way out here, which is great for a beginner. That way has time to think about what he's doing, or he or she's doing. Okay. Out of the power just a little bit. And a little bit of flare. All righty. That was taking off and landing in stability mode. All right. Now I'm going to switch to optimize mode, which is just wind gyro. And all that is, it just helps a light little plane fly like a larger, heavier plane in wind.
Optimized mode.
They call, I'm sorry, I'm in optimized mode. Same thing as in the Spectrum world, it's AS3X. In other words, I can turn the plane upside down, but I have help with the wind. All right. And we'll show you that I can turn it upside down, see? All right. Okay, now this is the mode that I normally will fly this plane in. Good flying little plane. Let's go ahead and check her out. All right, flying along, I'm gonna do my stall test. I lose power, what does she do? Hands off the sticks, she just slumps forward, okay? Inverted flight is not a problem. Very little pressure needed, okay? Now, let's do stall test. I'm going to pull up the elevator, up elevator, up elevator, up elevator. Which wing? Which wing? Which wing is going to drop? Okay, it's going to be the right wing, and she just starts spiraling down. So that is awesome right there. I'm going to do that again. All right, you're flying along, okay? Lose power. I'm going to pull up elevator, up elevator, up elevator, up elevator. What does she do? What does she do? Look at that. That's awesome. I'm full up elevator, and all she does is start circling down. That gives a pilot plenty of time to think. That's awesome. That's one of the best stall tendencies I've ever seen. All right. There's the Maiden on this too. I love the checks on the underside of the wing. Oh yeah. Great flying little jet, or little plane. I can go in there and I can change the linkage settings, or how the wing's hooked up, and get a little more deflection, but this is fine. I got it set up for a trainer right now.
3 minutes.
So this is what I can do with a trainer. Great flying little plane. All right. Let's get her landed and go over our rates and go over our battery. Remember, throttle is everything. All righty. Excellent.
Motor is off.
Motor off.
Safe to touch.
All right, let's take it back to the bench and let's talk about our rates. All right, that was a really good flight from Maiden Flight for the Ranger 1220. This is the version 2 of the Ranger, but it has the Reflex version 3. And the only really advantage between the Reflex version 3 and the Reflex version 2 is the version 2, you had to plug it into your computer, had to have a specific app, and you had to physically connect. With the version 3, you can take out your phone on a phone app and you can change all the flying parameters with the app, which makes it really Bluetooth connection, which makes it great. And the version 3, you can take it and put it in any plane. It doesn't have to just be an FMS plane, it can be in any plane. You just go in there and customize it to that plane. All right, let's go about this plane. Let's go about show you our rates that I just flew in. I ended up flying them, and I was in my high rates the entire time, which On aileron, or 100% with 30 or 40% expo. Elevator, 100% with 40% expo. And rudder, 100% with 40% expo. But I have the linkages set to the middle holes. That's more of a trainer friendly type configuration. Now with this plane, to take the wing off, all you do is slide these struts forward, pull these 2 twist pins out, and your wing slides right off at tongue and groove. Other than that, you got your 1Y connection to connect your aileron. So it's very simple. Kind of windy right now. Check our battery. To show, well, real quick, before we check the battery, we'll show you CG. CG on the plane is 50 to 60 millimeters back from the leading edge root. Hopefully the wind won't blow the plane out of my hands. You see it's kind of windy, you see in my shirt. But that's pretty good, given the wind blowing around. I checked it underneath the canopy when it wasn't quite so windy. Man, all right. Don't want to blow my hatch away there. Let my armpit eat it. All right. I'm running a 2200 shorty Turnigy. I guarantee you I probably got 80% left, even after flying for 5 minutes. Or however long we flew. We flew for just under 5 minutes, 4.5 minutes. I'm going to have to take that battery out, maybe. I got it. Still got 50% left, so not bad at all. So 7, you could, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. So honestly, you could set your timer for a 2200 shorty or a small 2200. It's not just Hobby or Turnigy that makes these shorties. Gold Bat on, I think it's Gold Bat on Amazon sell them. 2200 3S all the way forward. And you want to try to, with this kind of plane, you want it to be favoring nose heavy if you can get it to, because of the wind. A regular full-size 2200 probably would have been better. But there you go. That is the Ranger 1220 with the 3 different flight levels. Probably get another flight in a little later on, be a little more aerobatic stuff, show what it can do. But that right there, I'll show you, just show you what a great little trainer. It's easy to fly, good to land, beginner friendly, and it pretty well offers something for every pilot, no matter where you're at on the pilot's experience spectrum. All right, God bless y'all. Gabriel, thank you for filming. Hobby Zone, thank you for the plane. Thank you for sending me out and putting your trust in me. Y'all have a good one. We'll talk to y'all later. Don't forget, faith, family, and friends, keep them in the air, and God bless y'all. Bye-bye.